Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Living in Denver, Colorado. Today, back up north with a sprinkle of west, a little bit northwest. We're back in Longmont.
Yep.
This time we're talking about the 5 reasons you would consider or move to Longmont.
Let's go, guys. What's up, guys? We are the Mile High Property Brothers. I am Eli Schmidt. This is my partner, Will Grimes. If it's your first time checking our channel out, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell, because every Tuesday and every Thursday morning, we're dropping a new video and we're telling you everything there is to know about moving to or living in the Denver, Colorado area.
That is correct. And we are licensed brokers in the state of Colorado, which means as much as we love making these videos, we would love more to help you with your real estate needs. So that number popping back up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages, but we're also the guys who answer the emails. So if there's something we can do for you, we would love to help you. But with that being said, let's get right to it. Let's talk about the 5 top reasons Longmont might be for you.
Okay, guys, so starting off, let's start off with a very basic geography lesson. Now, I am directionally challenged, but I did a ton of research, so I now know that Longmont is approximately 30 miles, slightly northwest, very north, slightly west of Denver.
It sounds so silly, but I get a lot of, well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. I get a lot of compliments on how I describe things. So if Colorado were a clock,
the damn clock again,
and Denver were smack dab in the middle where the little dial goes, Longmont would be straight up I-25, right at 12 o'clock, but just to the west of that, right? So
it's
like
11:45.
11 and a half.
11:30,
No,
11:45.
you can't say 11:45, that's the minute hand.
Well, the hour hand.
In between 11 and 12.
There you go.
Right straight up off of I-25 is where Longmont's at. Castle Rock would be directly south to 6.
Oh, shit.
Southeast Aurora over to the 4. Highlands Ranch over to the 7.
Yep.
The bottom line is, guys, I want to make sure that you guys understand context of where you're looking at, commute-wise, and everything like that.
If you're commenting below, you're going to put starts at 4:15 is what you're
And to be transparent, Eli said he's directionally inclined. Like I literally have to, I have to break this down Barney style.
Fantastic.
Breaking it down Barney style to like make sure not only he but anybody else can understand me. So if you are way more advanced than my descriptions, forgive me. It's truly for you.
So, guys, why might you want to move to Longmont? What are the top 5 reasons? Now, there's a ton of reasons you might want to move to Longmont.
Yep.
We've boiled it down to the big 5 for us. So I'll just kick it off. Man, the number 1 reason that I think a lot of people want to be coming here is the proximity to Boulder versus the proximity to Denver, and kind of going into point number 2, the price point, but we won't go into that quite yet.
Correct. And in addition to having a great proximity to Boulder, you're actually not too far from Fort Collins. So you've got CSU campus up in Fort Collins, you've got CU campus down in Boulder, some really cool college towns, but they're also historic, nostalgic to Colorado, super well known, and you're still in the outskirts. You don't have like this downtown Denver overdone traffic or feel or anything like that. And a lot of people love that. They have no desire to go downtown. So really where you're at, like yes, a little bit closer to Boulder, but what most people don't realize is you are super close to Fort Collins as well, the Rocky Mountain National Park. You're super close to Loveland. Loveland is like the gateway to the Rocky Mountain National Park. You've got old school ice cream shops and just some fun historical things as you go up into it's the Big Thompson Canyon. So it's your really cool mountain canyon that takes you right into Estes Park and the Rocky Mountain National Park. And you're super close to Loveland, right? So a lot of really cool stuff right here. So again, getting to Boulder, but just proximity to some other things, really cool. Definitely one of the top reasons people want to be here.
Oh, absolutely. And that brings us to point number 2. Let's talk price point.
Yep.
Now, especially in comparison to Boulder. In Boulder, you're legitimately looking for an entry-level home to be around the $1 million mark.
$1 million.
You'll see them go on.
$1 million.
So in Boulder, you're looking at, I mean, an entry-level $1 million home. They're going to start maybe $900,000. It's definitely going to sell for over $1 million. So the other thing, Boulder has a ton of tech companies. So the issue is you have a lot of people that are officing or working in Boulder but man, they're not able to or just don't want to spend that much on a home. So where are they looking?
Well, in addition
30
to that,
minutes out here.
Yeah, not to cut you off. In addition to that, Boulder is super restrictive on how much they're actually allowing development to happen. So for like single family homes, like they only allow so many vacant lots to be developed on. So it could be a lot bigger than it is. And I don't know if that's the pretentiousness of Boulder or the nostalgicness. And
Preserving, yeah.
I'm being lighthearted. I'm being funny. The bottom line is, like, even if you can't afford it, hey, great. We've got a lot of clients that can more than afford Boulder. We've done $2-3 million homes up there, and they're phenomenal. But just the availability and expansion of it, sometimes it's limiting, and you don't have the luxury of time to necessarily wait. But man, you could really grab some great spots here in Longmont. The other benefit to the price point here is not only is it more affordable, but you've got some great equity here as Colorado continues to grow. Colorado as a whole increased 16% on appreciation over the past 2 years. So what does that look like for you?
Just last year alone,
Yeah, so what does that look like for you living here in Longmont and gaining on some of that appreciation, and maybe one day, once you're here and you're rooted and things start becoming available in Boulder, and that's something that you're looking at, you can take that equity you've made here in Longmont. You can definitely upgrade or decide to move in once you've got some more time to focus on where you want to like super put your roots. But speaking of roots, like, and speaking of another top reason why we want to be here, why someone would want to be here, is the Old Town.
Yeah,
the breweries
downtown,
and the coffee shops. And man, as much as we talk about putting your roots down in Boulder, you could definitely put your roots down and stay in Longmont for a long time. You've got, man, like we talked about these drives to different places, but you've got the establishment of the Old Town Longmont. So again, breweries on every corner, coffee shops, like just fun, cool, young professional style.
There's a bike shop and coffee lounge all in one, and I'm like, man, how much more Colorado does it get than
Drink
a
some
bike
coffee,
shop and,
ride a bike.
Yeah, and guys, the we get a lot of, we'll sit down to Zoom calls with you guys literally every single day. We're on Zoom calls with you guys, and one of the most common questions we get is most people are flexible on areas because a lot of them are still remote working, or they're only going to be doing 1 or 2 days at the office per week.
Correct.
So a lot of you guys are asking for a downtown, a literal downtown, or a main street, or somewhere where you can park the car and you can just go spend the weekend checking out shops and food and get some good drinks. There's a handful of places in Colorado that have that, and Longmont is top of the list. They've got a fantastic Main Street, historic downtown area.
Just the walkability of it.
Yeah.
You do have some other places like a Castle Rock, a couple of others.
Arvada,
but like
there's
the
Littleton.
caveat here is like when you're out here walking and enjoying that, or you do want to get on your bike and hit a trail, your proximity to the mountains is really what's cool about that. Really cool, and like as much as we've talked about Old Town and nostalgicness, let's talk about modern day moving forward, which leads us to our last reason. Your fifth reason why you might want to be here, and that's all of the medical and tech
industries and opportunities for employment is huge.
You've got a huge UC Health campus here. You've got a lot of recreational sports around that, but you can tell, like we've seen,
Crocs are made here.
Crocs is made here. You need Crocs.
Yeah.
Get your Crocky self down here, and you could probably wear them out here and not get made fun of, right?
Oh,
like,
of course, yeah.
Super big deal,
with
right?
Socks if you want to.
Huge, but we've seen some other cities, in and around, like obviously Denver Metro, but we've seen some other cities grow, like the Southeast Auroras, the Castle Rocks, the Castle Pines, Highlands Ranch has grown exponentially. We've seen a lot of that, guys, and anytime you see like these UC Health campuses, full campuses that are sprouting up along with some of the sports complexes, like what's next once you've been out here for a long time and you've seen it. But I really feel like they're doing it the right way. It's still somewhat spread out. It's not overly congested. They've had Longmont established for a long time with that Old Town prior to ever building on some of this new stuff and some of the new builds. So it's got some great contrast to it, but definitely don't feel like, as much as we're preaching the trails and the mountains and Boulder and CSU and riding a bicycle, that Longmont is outdated or out of touch. Definitely not true. Definitely a lot of diversity, especially some modern.
And just continuing to grow and get better and stuff like that. If it, when we're doing our research for these videos, a lot of times, like Will said earlier, we like to dive into like Reddit. Like there'll be forums on little obscure websites like Reddit, and it'll tell you their actual locals are speaking to it. We want to make sure we're not just giving you our opinion, but one of the things that There's always two little squirrels, and there's like a little husband and wife squirrel, reminding me of Will and I.
No, it's not.
We're coming here to get on. So what some of these locals are saying, guys, is that they actually don't like how much Longmont is growing and how much they're expanding, how much they're getting new restaurants and new shopping centers and things like that. So, you know, they are constantly growing. Like Will said, they're not stuck in this old town.
Well, let's digest that a little bit. Not to be against the folks that are against Longmont growing a little bit, but you guys also have to consider the folks that go into forums and choose to write. And we've seen that with Parker.
Yeah.
We've seen that with parts of Aurora. We've seen that with Castle Rock. A lot of folks that have been here for 20 years, like, yeah, it was definitely a lot different. They kind of like that. Well, the fact of the matter is it is growing, but you still have, like, your old town.
20 years.
The majority of folks that are up here, like, they do like that it doesn't feel like it's on the outskirts anymore. And you've actually got some just sense of community and some stores and some convenience out here in addition to still being on the outskirts.
Yeah, and
but
they
overall, it's subjective to your personal needs.
You know, here's one difference that I think will help shed some light on the situation that you'll see here versus like a Denver. Like Denver, it's not uncommon to where they're tearing down a Victorian-style home that was built in 1890s. And
technically, they're not tearing it down. They're probably having to remodel it. There's laws on Victorian homes.
Yeah, well, if it's
Victorian
not
style.
if it's not classified historic, then yeah, they might be tearing it down.
There you go.
However,
I'm protecting homes.
So
I don't want Eli to misspeak.
Denver doesn't have, like, they'll preserve a lot of things out there, but they don't really go overboard in trying to maintain the old town feel. Places like Boulder, places like Longmont, places like Brighton, man, they're building all around here, but they're not doing it at the expense of the current history that's
it's
here.
tasteful, guys. It's tasteful, but there's still plenty out here for you. And man, like it or not, you know, or take it or leave it, however you want to phrase it. The bottom line is we always talk about it. Turn these stones, and you guys are coming out and you're working with us on your real estate needs, or you're not quite here yet, or maybe you're coming in for a couple of days to just kind of look, and you want to just go see homes, and that's phenomenal. More importantly, all of these areas that we're talking about and fitting your needs, like what's best for you, turning those stones first, right? Like we can find the homes. Homes are commodities. We can remodel homes. You can update the kitchen. You can find the perfect one that doesn't have to be touched. The bottom line is wherever that home is, it's not changing, right? So things you can change, things you cannot change about a home are super important. And that first one that you want to tackle is your area and making sure that your commute to wherever you're going, your lifestyle, the livability of it, your commute to your pleasure abilities where you want to go, suffices for you. Hence why we're so big on the areas and just trying to give you guys as much content as possible and figuring out if it's for you now. So no matter what, if this Longmont area has not been on your list or you didn't even know it existed, start looking at it now.
You're
turn
welcome.
that stone, ask some questions, and specifically to those questions, yes, we are licensed real estate brokers in the state of Colorado. Yes, we do help you with your real estate needs just as much as we do these videos. So that number popping back up below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls and the text messages. We are also the guys who answer the emails. So if there's anything we can do for you, we would love to help you. Until next video, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you guys soon.
Take care, guys.
See ya.